What's going on, fight fans? This is Capital Combat. I'm Rob Jarrell, and this is my initial reaction, or at least one of them, to the night's fights. And Jesus Christ, were there a lot of fights. So what I'm gonna do? This video is gonna start off with the Showtime card, which gave us uh, some entertaining fights and one controversial one. We're gonna start off with Gervonta Tank Davis as he took on Liam Walsh in Great Britain, and yeah, I think that pretty much went how Hakeem said it was. Gervonta Davis got the third round knockout of Liam Walsh with Jesus Christ. That was a hellacious. What was that? A right hook. I looked at it and then I had to look at it again. I was like, Jesus Christ. 3 rounds, and you could tell that Liam Walsh really wanted to maintain range against Gervonta Davis. He wanted to not get too close because we know how explosive Gervonta Davis is. He's fast. He's a very hard hitter, and he's got a hellacious right hook. We got a lot of southpaws tonight. I'm really thinking about how many primetime southpaws fought tonight, but Gervonta Davis, he hit him with a big shot, and you could see that Liam Walsh's legs just left the rest of his body. I mean, he was stumbling. Then as soon as Gervonta Davis jumped on him, he just dropped him, and it was actually pretty ugly. I was surprised they didn't stop it as soon as Liam Walsh was hurt because you could tell he wasn't going to last much longer. But it was another great showing by going to the challenger's backyard and taking him out within 6 rounds. It was in 3. Hakeem said 5, but I don't know what else this guy can do at 130 except take on Lomachenko, and it's other fights out there, but this was just a great fight on a great stage in someone else's backyard to really get his name out there. And the guy's going to be popular. I thought he might get hurt in this fight, but he didn't. Um, I don't know what else to say about the kid. He's really going to have to step up his level of competition next at 130, and I think he will. I think he'll fight somebody. I don't think he's going to fight Lomachenko yet, but yeah, the sky's the limit for him, man. He's really young. He's extremely explosive, and he's a lot more accurate than I thought he would be. So, congratulations to the Baltimore boy. Going from there, just to kind of before we really move on, Jose Uzcategui lost to Andre Derrill by a disqualification by hitting Andre Derrill twice after the bell. It happens. It just so happens that this is the second time it's occurred in an Andre Derrill fight, the first time being against Arthur Abraham. Um, and I really didn't get to see as much of the fight as I wanted to. It was close, but he got a full flush, 2 clean shots on Andre Derrill. Um, and it's unfortunate because we got a good fight. I would say that Uzcategui, from what I could see from the few rounds that I did, and from a lot of the replays and everyone talking about it, is that he was winning the fight, but Andre Derrill was actually coming on, and this was in the 7th round. So you got the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. You got 5 more rounds to go where Andre Derrill, who was starting to come on, could have turned the fight around and made it interesting. And at the time of the disqualification, and Andre Derrill is going to go on to fight the winner of, if I'm not mistaken, is it Callum Smith? I know it was an eliminator, and it was for the vacant IBF super middleweight title, but I don't think that's going to be the case again. Let me double check that, but he becomes the mandatory challenger. So he's going to fight James DeGale in a rematch. Um, but it's unfortunate because the trainer of Andre Derrill goes to the corner, and when Uzcategui isn't looking, he throws a punch that lands, which actually shows that Uzcategui's chin is insane because he took that punch and was just ready to defend himself. But it's unfortunate that fights like that has to happen. But being that the type of fighter he is out of Venezuela, not Colombia, as I've been saying, he's kind of got to be mindful of that because from what I heard, that's not the only time it's happened during a fight, and he's been warned for it. So hopefully Andre Dirrell comes back and has a good showing versus James DeGale, and I'm not sure what's going to happen with Uzcategui at the moment. Um, but yeah, that was just an unfortunate. It kind of almost ruined a great night of events. But let's move on to the main event, and that was um, Gary Russell Jr. versus Oscar Escandon in a very, very rare fight where Russell was actually taller than his opponent. But it wasn't a difficult fight, but Escandon was definitely able to push Russell because I think him being a volume puncher was able to land more on Russell than we were expecting. But Russell, having probably the fastest hands in all of boxing, and some great explosive power, was able to knock Escandon down for the second time in his career. And that was with a left hand, which I don't see too many people getting hit with that left hand getting up. And he just was able to definitely place his shots. Um, I think a few of those rounds, I want to say about the fourth or fifth, he did take rest. You could tell he was visibly tired. He didn't have as much snap, but he was landing that uppercut. And he was just punching in between Escandon's punches. Escandon is not very fast for his weight class, but his volume kept him in the fight. But he got hit. He got hit with a right hook on the temple that it didn't affect him as soon as it landed, but then it was like, and then his leg said, "Hell no, we gotta wait a minute. We can't go forward. We gotta go back." And then it just went to the side. So that's when Russell jumped on him, but he didn't land a punch. I think Escandon was on his way down, and the ref jumped in. I think that stoppage was a little early, even though I think Russell would have finished Escandon within that round. I think that might have been a little bit early, and he should have gotten a chance to fight or at least take an 8 count. So decent night on Showtime. I enjoyed what I saw, and hopefully we can continue this trend of good fights on free TV or free enough TV, like with Showtime, HBO, ESPN, so forth and so on. So if you got any questions, hit us up in the comment section. Tell us what you think. Facebook, capitalcombat@gmail.com, Instagram, Twitter, whatever it is, feel free to reach out. If you haven't subscribed already, hit the subscribe button. If you have subscribed, hit the bell icon so you can get all our latest content. And until next time, fight on.